What is up, YouTube? It is Dr. Psychosis here, and I'm bringing you this video because of a lot of news going around right now about the PS4 and Xbox One. Um, Apparently, there's going to be a ps4.5, which really no one really knows anything really about it other than it's going to be apparently 4K, but it's not really going to be 4K gaming as much as it's just going to be upscaling the regular 1080p like they do right now with upscaling PS3 games from 720p to 1080p, stuff like that. Um, but the reason why I wanted to make this video was because of the fact that I think it's gonna be a big problem. I think it's gonna be a really big problem down the line with playing games and stuff. Um, I mean, you have to look at the big picture. With what they're talking about is doing like almost like a yearly upgrade system to the consoles now, where before it was like every five years or something you get with the console, and now they want to push it into like a yearly upgrade system, and you could be getting charged like about $400-500 for a new console every time they do this, and it's just unaffordable. People can't afford to do this. It's ridiculous. Um, but it also is going to leave the question: is what happens to the old consoles? If people don't want to upgrade, what happens the consoles that people still have? That are they going to just basically drop them and be like, nothing's going to work with them anymore? Or, I mean, what's going to happen there? I really don't know. I mean, like my thought is they're just gonna drop the console altogether. They'll probably just be like they did with the iPod fourth generation, where when the fifth generation came out, everything was like, oh, it's okay, it still works, things still work, and as it was out for a little bit, things stopped working on it because the software on the iPod fifth was more advanced, and I have a feeling that's the same kind of a thing that's going to be happening. With the Xbox One and the PS4, now that they're going to try to start upgrading them, um, it's possible that it's actually going to be that way, and I have a feeling that it's probably going to be. Um, I think it's a terrible idea, to be completely honest. It irritates me. I just got a PS4 myself not too long ago, just about a week ago, and if the new PS4 basically wipes out this one, well, then what? You have to go pick up a new one. I mean, and the same thing goes with the Xbox right now too. Is like, are they going to do the same thing with the Xbox and stuff? Are they just going to basically have it like stop working after they come out with the new version? Because they want to have it set up like a phone based thing where if you want to upgrade, it's going to be like a phone-based plan for the Xbox One. I don't know about the PS4, but as for the Xbox One, that was something that Phil Spencer mentioned, basically making it like the PCs. And to be completely honest, the gaming consoles are nothing like the PCs. They really aren't. Someone made a comment on another video that I watched about how consoles should move into PCs, and they actually think it's okay. This is a good idea. I think it's a terrible idea. Consoles are not like PCs. You can't upgrade them like that. You get your money's worth out of it. You keep it for 5 years, and then you move on to the next one. But what they're trying to do is completely different, and it's because even with PCs, you don't have to upgrade them. With consoles, they'll force you to. You'll have to upgrade them, no matter what. They'll make you do it. So that's the main differences in between the PCs and the consoles, where they're like, oh well, if you want the best graphics, yeah, you should have to upgrade. That's fine and dandy as long as it's not going to actually affect the actual console itself, and it is, because they're going to treat it probably just like what Apple does with their phones and their iPod touches, where when another one comes out, the last one is basically not going to be working that well. A lot of apps, a lot of games, a lot of stuff is just going to stop working on it. And if that happens with consoles, well, what do? You have to go to the next one. That's the whole point of like why people stopped playing 360 and they moved on, because we all knew that 360 is not going to be getting any new games anymore. It's not going to be getting into the newest apps. And that's the whole point of getting the new console. So If they do this, I think it's a very big mistake. It's a very big mistake. I don't know how like anyone else feels about it. I just the way that I'm looking at it, it's just all around not gonna work. I don't see how they're gonna get it to work. It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like when it really comes down to it, because the PCs, you can play all the new games on an old PC. It will still play the new. It may not play it well. It will still play them. On a console, on the other hand, because of the way that it is and the fact that they do control it, they actually control the consoles and the way that they operate and stuff. They can easily say, okay, well, you know, the software on this isn't compatible anymore. We don't want to put games up for this console and stuff like that. And we've seen that happen before with the original Xbox, PS2, and stuff like that. And you know, it's like once new software comes out, new stuff like that, the old console is just obsolete. There's no point even having it. And that's like my thing right now is they're basically going to be doing the same thing, but they're going to be doing it yearly almost rather than doing it at a 5-year, 6-year, 10-year plan of a console. They're just going to be trying to do it yearly, and I think it's a terrible idea. I think it's terrible. Because at that point, you might as well just go to PC because you can play every PC game without even having to worry about upgrading unless you want the best quality that you can get. And to be completely honest, I'm fine with the quality that's on PS4 and Xbox One. You know, it's like I have both consoles, and what's the point of me like going out and just constantly upgrading? Unless it's like in the 5-year span or a 10-year span or 6-year span, I'd rather do it that way than have to be forced to constantly upgrade my console because it's ridiculous. Well, you guys let me know what you think down in the comments. I think it's honestly just a big mistake. I see that now that, you know, a lot of media places are trying to push it. They're trying to push for this being a good idea, you know, and it's not. They're just trying to reach into your banks, reach into your pockets more and steal more of your money. And it's just a terrible idea. And if it actually goes through, if it actually does, I would be surprised if this actually was able to be a big hit and they actually made a ton of money off of this idea. Because at that point, you know, there's just no point in gaming consoles anymore because they're just going to be too expensive. Because you have to be going out to buy a new one every single year for another $500. So it's not something I want to do, and it's not something a lot of other gamers want to do. So, but yeah, you guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's Dr. Psychosis, and I'm out.